Hey guys, welcome to DevOps School. In this video tutorial, we are going to learn about Docker. It helps us to create, deploy and run applications by using containers. After going through this tutorial, I promise you that the concept and understanding of the Docker will be absolutely clear to you.
But before that, let me ask you a few things. Are you dreaming of a career with higher pay and more responsibilities? Or are you ready to take your skills to the next level this year? Then start investing in DevOps School certification level courses which will help you to emerge skills for a wide range of entry-level roles and as well as higher potential future positions. But with thousands of courses online and in classroom worldwide, finding the right one for your career goals can be difficult. You can consider our courses like Agile Developer, Agile QA, DevOps Certified Professionals, Site Reliability Engineering, DevSecOps, and Masters in DevOps Engineering, where you will have access to well-structured, easy-to-follow course content that has been developed and will be delivered by industry professionals. You can join on our training programs globally through online platforms, and if you are looking for classroom workshops, then we have regular sessions available in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi NCR, Mumbai and in Pune. Simply compare our many courses, find the one that suits your style and schedule best and start today.
This is the how can we troubleshoot the container. Then working with image, Docker image. We will develop an image today, okay? And sharing an image with folks around. So these are the three topics we will mainly discuss. Okay. I will give you some lab and assignment also along with it. So get good. Now, what I have done is, because here, if I go and check, make this screen white. Okay. If I see here, Docker help, there are a lot of commands you see. Okay, a lot of commands. So these commands, what I did, I converted these commands into some sort of blocks. And I would like to share with you those stuff here. And where is this command? Here it is. Here it is. This URL, you can refer it. Now, these are the commands I would like to run in front of you, and you will also run in the same fashion. Okay, right? So now if you see here we have a first command after installation which you run. You have done it already. Then you want to work with the containers. So these are commands which you have. You want to monitoring the containers. These are the commands. You want to work with the images. These are the commands. You want to work with the registries and repository. These are the. So I have divided into all these commands. This is not needed because it's towards the SWAM is more useful. Enterprise Docker, which we are not covering. So okay, so these are the commands. So let's go one by one and check if I have covered that or not. Okay. So guys, do you have any questions on the attach command? Because I covered that. If you have any questions on attach command, do let me know. No. Now cp command, which I have not covered, so I would like to cover here. Okay,
Rajesh, attach is to the default process only, right? The default process slash bin bash or slash bin.
Default process I would not say. I would say the container process, which is a CID1. That is the right keyword. That is the right keyword.
Okay.
Okay. So cp command, I'm going to tell you. So do we have any containers? Let me show you. Okay, I don't have any containers. Do we have any container in exit mode? So many. And you know one thing, I am feeling a little bit lost because I have so many containers. I'm feeling lost, so you must be getting lost also. So I want to delete all this content. What we do? So there's one command to stop, Docker, stop and remove all containers. Okay. One command will stop all the containers and remove all the contents. Which command? Let me check it out. This. So here is stopping. Anyways, that is stopped, so it will not work. Remove. So guys, I removed everything. Now I have no container. No container. So here what I am doing is Docker run Ubuntu. This if I run this command, it will do what it will run an exit, which I don't want. So I'll make it interactive. At the same time, I don't want to go inside and write control PC or something like that, if you remember. I hope so. So I'll do detached. So this way, container will get created and same time will not get attached. So now we have a container. Now this container, I want to copy some files and directories. But we have a file. Some files I should be creating. So let's create one file, DevOpsSchool.txt. This file I created with some content. I love India. Save it. More DevOpsSchool.txt. This is the one which we have. So now I want to copy this content cp DevOps code and container. So I think I missed that container ID. So first I will get this container ID and Docker cp. Now you can copy files and directories both. It's not only that you can copy only files or something like that. Okay, so Docker cp, and which file you want to copy? This file. Now where do you want to copy? Inside this container. Inside this container where? OPT location. I just copy. How do I query whether it's there or not? So Docker, exit command, very powerful, and I love this command. ls opt. See the file is there. Want to see the content of it? More opt. Here it is. I love India. I love India. So this is the thing what we have. Okay. So guys, this is the way we have this. Understood? Now can I copy back from the container? Yes, you can copy back from the container. So here, done. I removed from the local, so you see there is no file. I'm doing the Docker cp from which container? Source location. And dot. See here the content. So here history and cp command is this. So this is the command I run, demoed also. So guys, did you understand that how cp command works? Everyone? Yes. Great. Now guys, create command. I think we have tried already. I have shown you, so I will. Diff command. What is diff command? So guys, diff command is little bit interesting. You will love it actually. Diff command. So guys, the moment you create container, okay, there's nothing happens until you run some applications and all, which keep writing file. That's a different case. For example, in Ubuntu case, it's not writing any files as long as you go and create a file or modify a file or delete a file, then only it is see. But Jenkins, the moment you start the container, start writing the file because of application runs, it get exploded war files and all. This that can happen. So those are. So what is the diff command actually doing here? So this command, you will see different perspectives during the image, but for time being, because we are working with the container standing, so this command will tell you files got added, changed, okay, changed and deleted after, understand that, after a container got created. That means if you want to know after that when the container got created, which are the files has been written, which are the files which has not been written. If you really want to know, I think this tool will help you. This tool will help you. So here you can see that. For example, right now I have this container Docker PS. This container I have added one file which is DevOps.txt OPT. But at the same time I will attach. I am able to attach. Why? Because I am attaching and it will go to the bin bash. Because I am the human being, I can work with the bin bash. So I don't have to exit an IT option, I have to use it. But again you have to make sure that you should not exit EXIT. You should do control PK, because if you do the exit, TID1 will be killed and TID1 will be killed and container will be killed. So those concepts, please understand them. It will help you on day-to-day activities. So now I attach, I am inside a container and I am going to some location, let's say etc, so 12 container. Let's say I will delete some file, issue. I deleted a file and let's change some file. So which file I should change? Let's say cat issue.net. So I'm changing this file, okay. VI is not there, so VI is not there, and I do not want to install it also. So I'm using cat, one trick which I learned in my college, which is you can through cat also, you can change that this way. Now you can write whatever you want. I love Docker and Control D to save and exit. Okay. Now just verify here. Issue. See here. I love Docker. I did the double quote, that way it will get appended. If it is a single redirection, it will not get appended. It will get replaced. So that's the thing. So yeah, this is the one. So I change one file, I modify one file, I added one file, and I deleted one file. Simple. Control PQ. And now Docker PS. With that in context, can I check this? See that? So is it matching? Only those files which you have worked with. Did you understand this? Guys, did you understand it? Yes. Great. So guys, this is the diff command, okay, which we have studied. Now, exit commands I have already covered yesterday, so I hope you don't need this, okay. And inspect command I have also used yesterday. Kill command also I have used yesterday. Watch command also I have used yesterday. If you need a clarification, please do not hesitate. So I will help you. Now what is a port command? So guys, port command is something which is little bit different. For example, Docker here.
Rajesh, I have a query with respect to this. Yeah. So, is there a way we could find out if any file has got modified? Because currently we have seen created and deleted, right? If a file has been modified, does diff will be able to find out using that?
See here, no? It's saying C means
Created, is it?
change.
Option.
A,
For created and for added, okay.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So here, I was talking about the port command.
Yep, thanks.
So guys, if I say docker port and if I say here, see Ubuntu has not exposed any port. Okay. So this expose has not happened in Ubuntu. So if you really want to see to the command line any container which is got exposed with some external IP address and stuff like that, you have to have some export. So let me expose one container, docker run -c 8080 -d Jenkins. Now you know understand this thing. I created this container quickly, Jenkins form. Image was there already, orchestrated. And if I see code, see it. So you will see that from the container, it is getting exposed with the host port, host node port 8080. This is the IP address and to node. So this is getting exposed. Now try to find out where this information, if you really have the mindset for discovery, is there in some file resolve.conf. Just go and check this out. Nothing else. This port command is querying your resolve.conf. That's it. That's it. Yes, we'll get to it. Fetch ps command, I did this. Now rename command. What is the rename command? So guys, you might have seen this one actually. If I show you docker ps, see every container, you see some different name you get it. Different name. This container, you get this name. This container, you get this name. So actually the concept is very simple. Any object you create, okay, any object in Docker, when I say object means container is also object, okay, and image is also one object, okay, understand that. So we have to name it, and that name has to be unique, that's important. Now why do we use name? Because there are container ID, so again why do we use a name? So guys, container ID is not for the human beings. For example, if I tell you the friendly Hamilton, and if I tell you FV05B692CF36, 3F, so which one you will remember? Our human is wired for the names, not for the numbers and digits. Correct? So it's create a pointer in our memory. So names, any name you create, so any object you create in Docker, you get name. Now this name is assigned by Docker by following some algorithm. If you don't like this name, you can change it. How? Docker rename which content? This content. To what you want to change? Dev2. There's spelling mistake I did. And you see here now, Dev. Can I name it during the creation time only? Yes, why not? You can do that. Dev1. Dev1. See. So guys, this is the way you can name it and rename it and work with it. So this is the port command and rename. Okay. So now this is the one. Now guys, restart I have covered, RM I have covered, run I have covered, start I have covered, pause I have covered, stop I have covered, unpause I have covered. So guys, do you have any questions so far on this? Any questions on these selected ones? No. So guys,
Rajesh, yesterday people are asking that how to do a port forwarding after starting a container.
after starting the container,
Doing the port forwarding, we have to assign some port, right?
yes, you can do that. Yeah, you can do that. You have to modify the container file system, which is like resolve.conf, and you can do that. You can change, stop the container, start the container. But the problem is that file system you are not comfortable with right now. So after the image session, you will get comfortable with those file system, and then you start liking this topic.
Okay.
Rajesh, what is the so interactive, right? So ESCC and ESCC-IT. How do we? What is the difference between these two, Rajesh?
See here, in a straightforward way, when you say exec, see here, it will execute that executable, get you the output, whatever it is, wrong, right, true, false, run, success, failure, anything. It will run that executable and bring back the output and return that to your real console. That is what it was happening. For example, if you are running exec from your host machine, then inside that it will run that executable and then get the output, capture the output and give you the std out on your console. On your console, that means WinBash, your WinBash. Now, when you do IT, then you are saying, don't come back. I want to be there. Don't come back. I don't want to return. IT means interact. I want to come back. I want to be there. So that way. But when you be there, how can you be there? Because you are the human being. How can you be there? So you have to use WinBash. Then only you can be there. Are you getting it?
Yeah. Yes, Rajesh. Thank you.
So guys, now, so I have taught you so many commands in this list if I look at it. So you need to teach me two commands, update and wait. Now I will ask this question randomly. By the way, I have not asked that difference between pause and unpause because I will ask those questions also during today's session. Pause and unpause. And one request guys, if you find out some answer, please do not share in the chat window because I want you all to find out yourself and keep it with you, and I may ask anyone randomly because we have a pretty large group, so random is the best way to understand whether you guys are doing assignments or not. So this is the one. So you need to teach me. Okay, one more thing, you have a Google, you have a command line, you have a help file, everything you have it. You need to teach me what exactly happens. So I would request you do not read the definition of Google on Google because definition and the behavior has little bit of context mismatch. Little bit of it. Because sometimes what happens, we use a very standard terminologies to define any behavior. But sometimes for the case of me, I do not understand the standard terminology. I want to see the technical behavior of it. So same way, You have to tell me what exactly is the update. What it says here right now? Update configuration of one or more containers. And the question is what configuration? I don't know. So you need to find it out and tell me. Here it says block until one or more containers stop. What block? What block? What kind of block? And then print the exit code. So you need to tell me the technical stuff of this. Okay. So do two commands. You need to tell me during the assignment. Now I'll teach you how to troubleshoot containers. In short, how to monitoring the containers. So guys, these are the 5 commands which is very powerful to monitor the containers. Let's start using one by one. Now here if you look at this, logs. So here you have a log command which checks the logs of the containers. Now when I say logs of the containers, see that is so correlation. Here if you look at this, Docker PS, look at it here. Now if I say Docker logs here, nothing is coming. And when I say Docker logs Jenkins container, something is coming. So what exactly this is? So basically what is happening in simple word I tell you, logs command will tell you all the logs, okay, all the logs which is run and stored by bin PID1. PID1. So here I did not run anything here on a bin bash. That's the reason it did not give me anything. See here is a blank. But here I run Jenkins, automatically bin run something. So here you got this so much of logs for the bin. Okay. So simply when we want to say that logs of the container, do not first see application log. Again I am repeating this line statement. Many people think I want to get application log and this will get me the application log. No. It will give you the PID1 log and maybe your application is a part of the PID1, then you get application log. But if it is not a part of the PID1, you will not get it. Okay. So logs command will get you the critical log document. Is it clear guys? Is it clear? Hello? Yes, sir. Okay. Now guys, PS command we have used a lot. So I'll go and skip it. Now what is the stats command? The stats command is very interesting. Let's run it and just see that. See here. I have 3 containers right now. And you see what you are getting, stats, CPU, memory, network. So this will give you the container utilization in the host machine. If you want individual resources, also you see how much CPU they are asking, how much RAM they are asking, how many networks they are blocking, input and output, all this. So stats command will give you all this. Now top command. What is the top command? So top command it says display the running process of a container. Now when I look at the display the running process of container, that means what? So guys, top command basically will tell you the host PID of that particular container. Host PID. For example, I'll tell you. Question. See, I have 3 containers. ps-ef grep.com. 1, 2, 3. how do I know which container is having which process ID? How do I know which container is having which process ID? 1663, 1923 and 2131. How do I know? So much of confusion, right? So I want to know now. What should I do? See, you can get to know, but you have to run the multiple commands for it. I can run those commands, but how do I know quickly? How do I know quickly? You should also look at one more thing right here. See that. There is one proxy running. I expose one what do you say? Jenkins container, right, with 8080. See, one more time I do docker run -p 8090 this time 8080 and -d Jenkins. You see that? So see here. See, this is creating a proxy. Okay. So there is all.com. So, okay, anyways, that's off the topic. So here, how do I know? So now I want to know one container, which container PID on the host machine. What I will do? Docker top. Okay, and here. See, did you got to know? This container ID F5 is having a PID number 23152290. Where is that? Find it out. PID 22902315. Where is that? 2290, which is PID, host PID. But here unfortunately I am not getting. No problem. The grep is not giving me that command. I'll get to know. Here. See here. This is all. See. So actually if you look at this, Jenkins.sh, think about it. Jenkins.sh, the one which is running inside a container, understand that, is having the is a process of the host machine, child process of the host machine, and which is 2290. Okay. So how do you correlate all this thing? You can correlate all this thing through the top. So if you want to query, as of now I think I have a three Jenkins running, right? Docker yes. 1, 2 Jenkins. So ps -yes grep. See, first two processes 1945 2290. These are running inside a container, but with a different PID. You know that. Docker exec container ps-yes. See here, Jenkins.sh. So these are running inside a container with a different PID number. So how do you know, in a short way, how do you know that? I don't want to spend too many commands. So top command. So guys, did you understand that top command now?
Yeah. There is one question. Clock command, it says the container is running on CentOS user space. So always on the default user space, or can we alter the user space?
And then what's happening? Container is running with the Jenkins user. Okay? Jenkins. But this process, which is a host machine process, can you mute yourself? There is a huge noise. Yeah. So actually container is running as a Jenkins user, understand that. Okay. But this process which got initiated, 1945, which got initiated from the CentOS user. So what has happened, I tell you. I logged in as a CentOS and then gained the privilege of root. So actually, if you understand the concept of capability, I am still CentOS with privilege of root. That's what sudo is doing. You do not log in as a root directly. I am still CentOS, but got the privilege of root. So that's the reason your all the processes still holding with CentOS. That was the one reason. Okay. Yeah. So guys, this is the top command. Now, event command. Get real-time event from server. It's server. Remember, if you forgot Docker virtual, see here. I see client version. I told you client. There's a Docker and daemon server. See, these are the information you should spend some time actually. It's very useful. The engine. This is the information. Container day. This version. Run C. This version. Init. This is the union mount system for it. So I'll just talk about union mount later. So here. So now here if I do event will tell you the Docker engine version, Docker D, not container D. Container D logs you can check it out different way. I'm not teaching you container D in this session, only Docker. By the way, many container interface uses the container D. Okay, nowadays everyone uses a container D for creating containers. Okay, so here Docker D. Where is Docker D? Let me show you. So here, look at this flag, Docker D. Okay. So when you see here Docker event, you can do the live monitoring of Docker D. Live monitoring. For example, can I do that? So before that, what I will do, I will store the commands because it's needed to 287. Okay. So here what I am doing right now is Docker events. See, I lost my console. So where are you right now? So by the way, you are as already monitoring Docker events, Docker D, and you are seeing nothing because of nothing is happening at the Docker D level. So what we do in this case? New console, CentOS here. Now what I am doing, Docker run -d Jenkins. Okay. Why I did -d, you know that? I'm just sending some command to Docker D through client. See what happens. Okay. I send one more content. First let me just see. I created and initially I taught you run means what? It's not like run means just run a container, just like this explanation. You should understand the technical aspects of it. Okay. Run a command in a new container. But when you run, what exactly happens? You should know. Then you will get a better understanding. So see here what is happening. When I run this Jenkins container, what exactly it does, you know? It created a volume. You see? Volume. ID with this one. See, volume create. Now what is a volume? I have not taught you. I will teach you sometime in today's session. Then container create. You know that this command. So you created a volume. Attach this volume after this container created. And then they get the network also. See here. And then started the container. Did you see that? So these commands got sent to the Docker daemon, and Docker daemon accepted this command and talked to the container D and got the response. This is the response, guys. This is the response, not request. Understand that. Here you are getting ID of container. That means the response. It was sent to Docker D sent to container D. Container D did the work. Docker D got the response in terms of ID, and they get you. Okay. So now this is the way. Can I create one more container? You see that process. So Docker run -itt Ubuntu. Here. See here. When I do only created and connect. Here container got created, network got connected. Now you must be wondering how come the volume got created here, not here, right? So only one thing which is, so that answer is hidden in the image itself, Docker image of Jenkins. Here Ubuntu guys are not creating any volume, but Jenkins guys creating volumes. When I will cover the volume topic, that's easy, you will understand. So see here, container create, network start. So ultimately, through Docker events, you can monitor the Docker data. Let me tell you one more thing. You can write all this thing in the log files also. You have to change the configuration and then you will go through that. So did you understand this? Docker events. Did you understand this? Okay. So now guys, I'll give you lab. What I want you to go through all this page and one by one run everything this time with a confidence. Okay. And till here. Okay. Run with all the commands. Practice all commands with one of your image, which you know that very well. Play with the image application which you know very well. Okay, because that way that you will get confidence more. And one more thing is you have to teach me these two commands. So for this whole lab, I'll give you 30 minutes, and for this assignment, I'll give you 15 minutes. And I will ask you all randomly, and you have to teach me what exactly the behavior of update and wait. Okay. So I'm updating the note now.
If you liked our Docker session so far, please enroll our general membership for $399 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest.
Thanks for watching.